people say Americans build big cars. This is a Rolls Royce. You could sleep inside this thing. There's what's inside. It's huge. It's the interior. It's so big I can't fit it on the screen. It's just, you know, we say Americans build big cars. I think this thing takes big to a whole new level. I think this thing is colossal. And there's, yeah, Rolls Royce. That grille is just insane. What a gorgeous car. But good lord, it's big. Here's a Chevrolet Bel Air. If you want to look like the French Prince, you get one of these. It's got a V8 in it. This thing is just massive. It's not as big as the Royce, but it is quite big. That's the interior. But this thing's seen a lot of action. 1957. Crikey. I love this tail end design the Americans had. It looks a bit like a spaceship almost. But then again, it was around the time when UFOs began being a thing, so people were like, ooh, Jetsons, everything like that. Here's the inside of that massive Bel Air. Holy moly, that's an engine. Look at the size of the air filter. You can have your dinner on that thing. That is a big battery as well. There's the horn system. Here's a nice little kit car. This thing is just like full on. This thing's not even trying to be a normal car, it's just a race car. All out race car style. With a Marlin. Looks like it's had a few nicks here and there. There's the suspension right there. You know, it's just all out exposed, everything. It just doesn't care. It's got a V6 in it. A Marcos Mantula Spider. I've never heard of it, but from the front, looks like a kind of a curved GT almost. Very nice. Here's an Aston Martin from the 90s, I think. Oh yeah, this is very 90s. Look at that steering wheel. I love that interior. It's got a bit of carbon fibre on it as well. It's a DB7 Vantage. Lovely. There you are, Tyler, I think you'll like this. Lancia. This thing's quite small, but again, at the same time, it's quite large. Does that say Fulvia? I think that says Fulvia. I think this is a Fulvia Sport 1600. Sorry about the wind noise. Can't quite see in there, but that is a nice interior. Lovely. Here's a BMW. It's an automatic. Got a lovely interior going there for it. Oh yeah, this is an older binner. You can see it's a large grille. I spy a Mustang, I spy a Mustang. Okay, at this point the wind noise was just getting a little bit too much, so I've decided to actually record this using my microphone at home now. You're going to notice that the audio quality sounds a lot worse. That's because I'm using my old headset, which is kind of shitty and has some weird audio spiking problems with the mic. So you might be being deafened right now, but I can't tell. I've got no visual way of telling, to be honest. But yeah, unfortunately, the wind noise was just getting far too much, so I just decided to record all this. But yeah. The car show was fantastic. I'll definitely be going again next year, and there are some other car shows that I'm going to later on in the year. Hopefully I'll have better equipment for that, such as like a proper full-on like digital camera. I do have a digital camera, I just forgot to bring it with me for today, so you have to deal with my my phone camera, which records a decent quality picture. It's like, that's minimum zoom, and it looks pretty damn zoomed in, to a point where it could probably make you feel sick if you watched it for too long. Look at these big old Ford Chevy, like, oh, not Ford Chevy, freaking Ford Ute trucks. These things are amazing. There were a couple of them there. There's the other one. People just walk in the way of the camera all the time. I couldn't do anything about it. People are just really rude nowadays. But yeah, there you go. There's a couple of big old utes there. Those things were awesome. I really loved those. And here's a Buick. Don't remember if I actually got the name of this Buick, unfortunately. But here's a big ass car. There's the interior, which is green of all colours. It's kind of a bizarre colour to have the interior of a car. It's kind of bizarre. America, fuck yeah, yeah. Got the American flag all over the place. Here you've got a Chrysler 300, as you do, you know. I don't mind the Chrysler 300, but yeah. Here's a big ass Chevy van. That was kind of interesting to see. Here is a car straight out of GTA 5. I believe this is a Cadillac. Oh god, it's a Cadillac, but I can't remember what it's called. But I know that in GTA 5 it's called the Emperor. So you know that's. Oh, there it is. It's a Buick. Not blah blah blah. It's a Cadillac Fleetwood. God, I'm useless with car names. Yeah, Cadillac Fleetwood. Straight out of GTA 5, Los Santos. So that's kind of interesting. As you can see there, like in the window, you'll listen that my hair was just blowing all over the place. The wind was ridiculous. And it got even worse as we got up to the seafront. But here's a Chevy Impala. This is for Jess. I know that Jess is an absolute fangirl for the Chevy Impala. And I can see why. It just looks so futuristic, but not, you know. And that's the whole sort of design idea that the Americans had when they were making this car. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm actually just going to turn the microphone sound down just a little bit. There we go. Hopefully that'll sound a bit better. Yeah, you saw an Audi there. Oh, but we got a GTR. We got a GTR. Oh yes. Oh yes. How badass is that? Oh yeah. I love the GTR. Just to give you a reference for how big these exhausts are, here's my fist. So you can fist a GTR! I'm sorry. Ah, yes, now this is a Nissan 370Z. I'm not a massive fan of this car, but I like it because it's a Nismo. Oh, yes. I do like Nissan's Nismo cars because they've got like that nice red trim with the black and then that lovely pearl white. Oh, it looks so good. It really does. Here's a GMC pickup. It's a big black car. Big black truck, rather. Those white wall tyres, man. Holy crap. This thing was really cool. I do like old American trucks like this. You don't see them very often in the UK, though. It's kind of bizarre. But there you go. There's that GMC. Tyler, something for you back at home. A Lancia Delta. I know how much you love your Lancias. You're missing out, man. You really are missing out. Oh. And Tyler instantly stopped watching the video. Yeah, Tyler hates Porsches. Anyway, here's some sort of Audi estate. Here's a Volkswagen Golf. I don't know why they were here, but they were here. Here's a Ford Sierra RS, though. Old Cosworth. Or Cozza. Only 64,000 miles, full history, and he's selling it. So if any of you are interested, just stop the video where the phone number is and give him a ring. You never know, you might still be able to get it, you know. Oh, angry headlights. Yes, okay, here's a Lamborghini. I wasn't surprised that this thing turned up, but there was only one Lambo here, which was quite surprising. Look at that interior. Jagged edges everywhere on this thing. And, like, I thought the back of it didn't have any taillights until I realised that they're there. They're just really blacked out. There they are. See? It's like, why? Why black out your taillights? Do you want people to know that know that you're braking? You know, it's just stupid. This Lambo looks like the back of the Tempesta in GTA 5, though, which is quite interesting. There were a lot of Ford Focuses here. Mostly Focus RSs, but there were a few STs and other models as well. Here's a slightly older generation RS. This was my favourite Focus RS out of all of them that were here. I just preferred this model over any of the other models. The rest of the other models just look a bit too... Ugh, I don't know. Smart car. Yes, yes, yes. Here's a Jaguar F-Type, though. I keep wanting to say F-Pace. Here's a Triumph Stag. Oh, I love the Triumph Stag. It's such an amazing car. Just gotta itch me ear. Hold on. There we go. But yeah, love the Triumph Stag. And here was a big, big, big car. I don't actually know what this is. Oh, I don't recognise that badge. But it was a lovely car. This guy was revving his engine. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to get right up close and listen to it. But, oh well. It was a nice car. It was quite jagged edges as well. Here's a Toyota Prius. I'm just kidding. Right, okay. Here's a Cadillac Fleetwood. Again. Pretty much the same as the other one. But, it's a different colour scheme, obviously. It's got a blue roof with white. It looks really nice, honestly. I do like these big lumbering boat cars that the Americans produced. Such fantastic vehicles. Really are. And this is a Lincoln, I believe. I believe it's a Lincoln Continental. Yep. Yep, it is. This is cool, right? Look at that! That is just so cool. Why do people not do that still? It's so cool. And you're going to notice, where the hell are the headlights? I think this thing has got, like, pop-up headlights before pop-up headlights were a thing. Which is just... Oh, that's really cool. I really like that. That is so awesome. That was a really cool car. Here is a, what is this? It's old, obviously. Oh, this is like a Supreme or a Sunbeam, or... I don't know what this kind of car is. I was very confused by it, but it was a cool little car, nevertheless. The Sunbeam Supreme. I don't know. I'm not really good with old cars like this. Here's a second one that was in maroon and silver, by the looks of things. If you know what they are, let me know in the comments. I'd be quite interested to know. Here's an old Ford, which looks like it's straight out of Mafia 1, which also has some sort of bird emblem on it. It's definitely not an eagle, by the looks of things. At least I don't think so. But yeah, that's the taxicab from Mafia 1. Now we've moved on to photos, and I'll explain why we've moved on to photos now. I started running out of memory in my phone, so I had to start using photos instead of videos, because I was recording in 1080p, which takes up a lot of your memory very quickly. So I've had to just resort to this. But I do get a few videos in later on, but... until then, we're just going to have to live with these photographs. Here's another Porsche, Tyler, if you would avert your eyes. Okay, you can look back now. Yes, okay. So here's a Morris Minor. Yeah, Morris Minor. We see a few of these things occasionally in the UK. Quite a lot. Obviously because there's a Morris. But, yeah, they're everywhere. They're cool little cars. Oh, what's this thing? I don't recall what this thing is. I think, yeah, this was a bit of a miss for me. I didn't know what this was. It looked cool, but I just didn't know what it was. That looks like another Morris Minor, I think, but I've only got one photograph of this thing. Ah. This car here, I believe, is a car that I ended up having a talk with a guy on crutches with. He said that he was going to have one of these, because his dad owned one a long time ago. But when he turned 17, this car failed its MOT, because it was too rusty, so he never actually ended up getting this car, but he says it's one of his dream cars, and we had a good talk. He spoke to me about my dream cars. I had a good bonding session with him. It was pretty cool. It's nice meeting people like that. Here's a Bentley. A very big Bentley. Honestly, seriously, this thing is like a freaking boat. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that's an old Bentley, that, from like the 90s. I don't recall what this thing is, unfortunately. But, oh, I recognise these kind of wheels. These are big, fat muscle car wheels. I don't remember what this thing is called, but it's a Buick, I believe. Annoyingly, I've completely forgotten what it's called. But it had some very humorous text on it. Let me see if I can quickly try and remember what it was. The Rust Bucket car. Frick, I don't know. Okay, where are we still? Oh yeah, the engine looks nice inside this thing though. Looks really cool. Here you are, Jess, again, a hearse in white for some bizarre reason. That's the inside of it. There's no coffin, but you know, it kind of makes sense really. There wouldn't be a coffin in it. Someone said this looked like a wedding car, and I'm like, are you freaking... You want to go to a wedding in a car that's designed for funerals? You're just an idiot. Ford Escorts, though. It's alright. Got kind of pissed off by that. But yeah, I got a few Ford Escorts, a few Ford Sierras. My dad was in love with this particular Ford Sierra, which I believe is the XR4i. Is that right? Yep, that's the XR4i, Ford Sierra. It said it was a fantastic car in the 80s, so yeah. Here's an RS2000 Escort, which is actually in Colin McRae Rally 04. There were a ton of Escorts here. There was a lot of Fords in general, to be honest. And here's a Ford Cortina. There were a couple of Ford Cortinas here, which was quite interesting. This one's in green, obviously. It's quite a cool looking car. He had a 5-star wanted level, but no, I think that's just the design of the car. These Fords, I don't believe I know what these were, or if I do, I've completely forgotten, but they look pretty nice. I like that muscle car-ish looking one, with the big grille. It wasn't a muscle car though, I think it was an older Escort, I don't know. And here's another pickup truck, which is made by Ford, I believe. This is a 53 Studebaker, but it's got no badging on it whatsoever, so I have no idea what it is. So again, if anybody could tell me what this is in the comments, I'd be intrigued to know. It's quite cool looking. They had a big ass wheel, look at that. Look at the size of that steering wheel, fat donut freaking thing. There were a few Corvettes here, which I was quite surprised about. I wasn't expecting to see any Corvettes, but there were. There was a lot of them. A lot of new ones, like a lot of newer ones. Like this, I believe this was a C5. This one, I don't know what this one was. I'm tempted to say like a Z06, but I don't know. But there was a C3, and the guy who owned this had a cowboy hat. I was just like, oh my god, you're such a freaking cowboy. I love you to bits. Oh, look at his car. It's so red. And the interior. The interior of this car. Look at that. It's just, oh, it's so good. Oh, that guy was epic. He even smiled at me. It was great. And here is a TVR. This TVR is a... What did that say? That was a TVR Tamora. I've never heard of a Tamora before. I should probably talk to Tyler about that, since he knows a lot about TVRs. This is an Austin Healey Sprite, I believe, which is an orange. Looks quite nice. Oh, Subaru Impreza! Yes, we've got a Subaru Impreza, a Bug-Eye. There were only a few Subarus here, which I was quite surprised about. Here's another Ford Sierra or an Escort. Like I said, there were a lot of these here. There was just an absolute ton of them. It was amazing. There's a lot of these guys. And now we're coming up to the American bit, and it's just Cobras, 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 Cobras. Just Cobras everywhere. Just insane. And some of the engines on these things were just absolutely insane. This one in particular just looked absolutely mental. But just to show you that it wasn't all American Cobras, there you go, here's an AC Cobra. There you are, see? So there were a few ACs, which was quite nice. There's some sort of yellow Ford car, I think this was. I don't actually recall what this thing was. It was quite obscure to me. I quite like finding obscure cars like this. Yeah, it's a Ford, but I can't read what that says. Because I'm looking at it through a really small screen. Here's a Corvette again. This is a C3 Corvette yet again. I prefer the C2, but I like the C3. C3 looks cool. And now, the Dodge Challenger. Oh, this is one of my American dream cars. Like, I love the Dodge Charger, the old Dodge Chargers, a lot more than the Challenger, but I'll happily have a modern Challenger. These things are freaking badass. Or a classic one. This one in particular was actually a guy went to my prom in a pimp suit, and he actually went in this particular car. He went in the exact same car. I was amazed that I saw this thing here. Look at the size of freaking donut tires. Look at the size of them. Proper drag radials. Just, oh, God. You're ready to set sail in that thing. And this year was particularly special at the car show because, yep, there was a Back to the Future replica. Great Scott! Yes, indeed. So, yes, there was a this DeLorean replica. Now, this car show does take place in Britain, so of course, you know, you've got to have at least one Mini Cooper there. And there were a couple there. There's I believe that one is a 1275 GT, the green one. And there were a shite load of Ford Focuses just all the way along the front. All the way along the seafront. Just frickin' everywhere. Holy crap. Yeah, there were a lot of these guys. Mostly RSs, a few STs here and there. And here's just the seafront. It was just ridiculously windy. Like, if you heard what was on here, it would just be like, just all the time. Here's another Impreza in red. And here's a 1989 Toyota MR2 with 4,600 miles from brand new. There's a Morgan. That MR2 was just insane. Oh, God, yeah. If you don't want eye cancer, please look away from that. Just... Oh, and here, again, we've got a shite load of Minis. Just an absolute ton of Mini Coopers. All different generations. There's an Austin Cooper S. There was a girl looking at me while I was recording these, which is kind of bizarre. And then there's that really ugly convertible thing there. And there you go, Trevor's got an upgrade. Do you remember his freaking supercharged quad bike? Got an upgrade. If you've never played GTA 5, I've just spoiled that for you. Yeah, we got like a Seaside Award for 2017. Like, really? This beach gets that reward? It's... Really? Look at the water. It's brown. Ugh. Anyway, here's an Aston Martin. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, Aston Martin Vantage, which is actually one that James Bond didn't use. Here's a Porsche. Yes, yes, it's pronounced Porsche. You know, you got to get that pronunciation right. Here's a Jaguar, I believe this is. I believe this is a Jaguar. Yeah, looks like a Jaguar. And here's a couple of Nissan 200SXs. It's quite nice to see these two cars here. They were lovely little JDM cars. Here's a Vauxhall I don't even remember what it's called, but it's just, whatever. Not a fan of Vauxhalls at all. But here's an Audi Quattro! Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Ultimate German power. And here's another TBR from the 80s by the looks. And yeah, I think this TBR had a little bit of an accident, because I'm pretty sure that's coolant that's leaked out there. There is a Lotus Elise. Very nice indeed. I do quite like the Elise. This is quite a blast from the past. This Nissan Bluebird, which is a car that my parents had. It was my parents' first car. Here's a couple of Ford Fiestas. Next to that thing, whatever that is. And just loads of Ford Focuses, just absolutely bloody everywhere. It's absolutely insane. But, yeah. I swear, there were more Focuses here than there were any other bloody car, to be honest, but, you know. That's whatever. And here is a couple of Ford Orions, which is kind of an interesting little car. And then, something insane happened. I saw a car that I've always wanted to see up close. This is a Honda CRX Civic. Oh, this car. Just, oh, CRX. Oh, I just adore this little car. That's just amazing. This car. Ugh. Yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this car. I always have. Well, I have been for quite a long time. And the owner actually came up to me and said, "Yeah, I see you're getting a lot of pictures. Like, have you owned this car before?" And I said, "No, I haven't even passed my test, but this is one of my dream cars." And we got talking for a little bit, and he offered to let me. He opened his door and let me get a little look at the interior, which was really nice. I absolutely love this car. And then he did something I didn't quite expect him to do. The owner's just let me have a little sit in the CRX. He just came back and he let me have a sit in it. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so lovely. I had a dream where I was driving a Honda Civic like this, exact same CRX a little while ago, and oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. He let me sit in it. What a guy, honestly, such a chap. Honestly, greatest guy on the planet he was. He was an older gentleman, he really was. He was quite a shy and quiet gentleman as well. It was so nice of him to do this with me, though. I was so thankful. He's such a great guy. He really was. He was the second guy that I bonded in really well with while I was here. God. What a guy. But this is a car show, so we've got to get back to looking at cars. So here's a Porsche. Tyler, if you could avert your eyes. And now we're back, and here's an E-Type Jag. There you are, there's a palette cleanser for you there, Tyler. But yeah, there were a lot. Again, there was just a shite load of minis. There's some more minis here. Here's a mini that also had a mini for a trailer. That was quite funny. And here's a Toyota Supra. Now this Supra, I've actually seen this Supra before on my way home from college a few times. I don't like the front bumper on it though, but again, like, the number plate just kind of ruins it there. But still, it's a Supra. Everybody loves a Supra. And here's another MG, which is very nice. Another Triumph Stag. There were a lot of MGs and Triumphs and everything like that. There were a lot of British cars, but then again, there were a few American cars as well. There's another Mini, and I don't quite know what this car on the right is here. I think it's an MG or a Maserati, but I know that the car on the left is a Golf GTI, which is quite cool.
There you are, Luke. Got you a little bit of footage of that Range Rover you like. It's the one with the convertible roof. I looked at this and I was just like, oh god, I want to so go on a safari in that fucking thing. Just look at it. It's just so cool. Oh, it's amazing. This like caught a lot of people's attention. That thing got a lot of attention. Now I swear, when I saw the front end of this thing, I swear it was a Lancia Stratos, but it's not. This is a Lotus of some kind. I don't remember what it is. But just, I've seen some Lancia Stratoses with those wheels, and I was like, oh, I swear to God, I'm pretty sure that's a Stratos. Ugh, so annoying. But here's a British police car, which is quite nice. Quite a random car to have there. And here's a Corvette C2. I have a die-cast model of one of these things, except it has a hard roof and not a soft top, which is quite cool. There were a lot of Saabs here as well. There were quite a few Swedish cars, including this Volvo, which is partially based off of the Lampadati Casco in GTA 5, which is pretty nice. And here's another Ford Cortina. This one was parked like right at the end, like just way out in the middle of nowhere. It was like an outcast. Like, the hell? Why is it all the way out here? And here's British weather at its finest. You've got blue sky over there, and it's outcast or overcast everywhere else. It's just freaking stupid. Here's the car that I got the intro sound from, which is yeah, it's a nice little kit car. The air coolers are sticking out of the air filters, I guess, are just sticking out of the side there. It's just so cool. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. We're coming up to the end of my footage here, so I'm just going to show you this last little bit of footage of this MG, which I believe was headed off home. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. I have certainly quite enjoyed recording all of this and bringing it to you. So if you want to, you can leave a like by the like button, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe if you're interested in sticking around on my channel. I do gaming mostly, but I do like to do some recording as well. Anyway, have a good day.